Good morning, good evening, and welcome to this week's live chat. I want to talk to you about monetization and monetizing your live streams. So before we jump into that topic today, I do have a poll. If you have started monetizing your streams or not, you can answer that poll right there. Just as the stream started, I lost all focus off my camera and I was just like, oh my gosh, and I literally had to just restart the camera. So I'm a minute late. I'm a minute late, not bad. Not bad considering I just was like, whew. Okay, so here in Brisbane, in Australia, right now it is a public holiday here and I nearly decided not to stream and just give myself a nice long weekend. But I decided, you know what? I want to spend this time with you guys talking about this particular topic. This is a hard one, especially when your channel is newer or you're not quite sure which direction to take the monetizing, because choosing the wrong options can feel like a lot of work for not a lot of effort. And we're already putting in so much effort between YouTube, live streaming, all the other parts of our lives that may or may not have anything to do with our YouTube business or our actual jobs, whatever it is that you're doing. There's only a certain number of hours in a day, and working out where to prioritize that time can be tricky. So we've got the chat is starting up. Good morning, everybody. Livestream Consultants was here first. How are you going? Thank you so much for joining in. I wanted to say to you quickly, I did send you a message on Instagram. That file you linked me to a couple of weeks back is locked. I can't get to it. So I haven't added in any new coffee sounds, even though I'd like to. Good morning to Leanne's Craft Room. Thank you for jumping in. So good to see you here. Us Plus Dads, great to see you. And Legal Minded Friends with Karen. So good to see you as well. Karen, I took your advice from last week. I have pinned my Buy Me a Coffee straight away. When I was setting things up, when I was putting the poll in, I decided to put that in because today's stream is about monetizing, about how you can monetize. Now, I do have a coffee today as well as water. And because I only have two beverages, I am not a true beverage goblin. I understand that, but I really just wanted coffee. And so I'm going to have some coffee right now. I love it when I make a good coffee. Like, who here in the chat hates it when you make yourself a bad drink, whether it's coffee, tea, whatever it is that you have, when you make a bad one and you're just like, ugh, I've got no one to blame except for myself. And then you make a really good one and you're just like, oh, that's better. That's better. So let me know in the chat, have you ever made yourself a bad coffee? It's just bad. It's just bad. Okay, so today I am streaming to LinkedIn, to Twitter, and to YouTube. I'm able to do this because I use StreamYard, and the StreamYard makes it really super simple and easy. If you want to give that a try, there is a link for StreamYard in the description below. And if you are having a look in the description, you will see a couple of different links. So I'm just going to open up my description on my end. So if you want to click on that and follow along as well, you totally can. Now, first thing I do have is my chat rules. So if you haven't read those yet, maybe just have a quick glance of those. Now, the first thing I have in here in this, actually, I might just share this screen. I was going to share a different screen first, but I'm going to share that screen first. I'm just double checking that there's nothing that you can see that I shouldn't be showing you. There we go. Okay, so in here we have my chat rules. Okay, so the chat rules are first. So because they're my priority. If I want people just to see what the rules are to make the streaming enjoyment good. But then straight under that, I do have the Buy Me a Coffee. And that is a link in there. Now, I also have in here, try Buy Me a Coffee for yourself. So if you haven't got Buy Me a Coffee as an option for monetization, you can always click that link and go and try it for yourself. Now, on here as well, I have my tools and recommendations page on my website, my Ecamm Live affiliate, my StreamYard affiliate, and then my bio page, and then some socials, and then Creator Mix, because, you know, I love Creator Mix. You guys know I love Creator Mix. So that's kind of what I do. I try to make them clear. I just realized Do I have an affiliate disclaimer in there? I do not. So I need to get that affiliate disclaimer in there. I'm like, I don't have any affiliates in there. And I absolutely do. I can't even type. There we go. Caps lock is on. Now, if I had any Amazon products in here, I would absolutely have to make sure that I'm using the specific Amazon disclosure, and your disclosure should be, actually I should write affiliate disclosure somewhere. I can't see, you guys are watching, stop watching and I can type. There you go. So your disclosure should be above your links. There needs to be no ambiguity. Your affiliate disclosures needs to be above your links. Now I have jumped a little ahead there because I wanted to show you what I've got in my description, and then realized I was doing the wrong thing and needed to quickly fix that. Excuse me. So we do have affiliate links in my description as well. Now, this particular channel is not in the YouTube Partner Program, so it does limit some of the options that I have available to me for monetizing these live streams. So YouTube, whether they run ads on them or not, I don't get a cut of those ads. And YouTube can run ads on any video that is up on the platform. Platform's the word I'm looking for. And if you are not in the YouTube Partner Program, you just won't get a cut of it. YouTube will take the full amount and put it towards, YouTube. And then once you join the partner program, any ads that run from that moment onwards, you will get your 55-45 cut on that. Okay, now let me just check in the chat again. Home Rapid Repair is here. Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining. Great to see you as always. I'm just double checking that LinkedIn is working. Yay. Gotta check these things every now and again, right? So obviously I use Buy Me a Coffee. And why did I choose Buy Me a Coffee? There was no real great reason other than I liked it. I thought it was fun. I thought it was quirky. I had some other friends who've used it. They've got no problems with it. So I just found that it was a good fit for me. Now you have options. Especially for like some of these external companies like Buy Me a Coffee. So we have Buy Me a Coffee. There is Ko-Fi, which is very similar. Patreon, YouTube memberships if you've got them available to you, and there's a few others as well, I'm sure. But these are the main ones that I'm aware of, and I have friends who are using them and that they're all having a good time using those. So it is definitely must have. You kind of got to test the field. Some of them have different ways that they pay you, so working out which country you're in and which payment types you can get. With Buy Me a Coffee, it's got Stripe integration, so I can be paid that way. Some of them have PayPal integration, so you can be paid that way. You need to work out what's going to work for you. Let's have a look here. Game Widows is here, keeping me company while I fold clothes. That's awesome, Game Widows. So good to see you in the chat. Woohoo! Button up blouse, fancy. It must be in honor of the holiday. Yeah, look, I just felt like it's a comfy shirt. It's like a button up shirt that feels like a t-shirt. So, that's a win and a win, right? Yeah, I wondered about that because I do remember using a super chat to send you money ages ago. It must have been on your other channel. Yeah, so my other channel, my Fiberific channel, it is monetized and I am able to accept super chats over there. On this channel, I cannot. So that is why I originally set up the Buy Me a Coffee. Now, I'm going to be really honest and open with you. I never expected anyone to use it. And that's the kind of person that I am. I never expect anyone to actually go and do these things. So I set them up, in positivity, in hope, blah, 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 or just giving the choices there for you. I actually never expect anyone to do it. So it's kind of funny when it happens and then I'm like, oh, wait, now I have to set up ways to show appreciation in the stream, like audios and imagery and stuff like that, because people are actually using it. Oh no. So, that's something you need to think about as well. So celebrating when somebody uses these features that you're setting up, because one of the big things about monetization and monetizing directly using things like Patreon, Buy Me a Coffee, Ko-Fi, and YouTube channel members, and super chats even, is making it value packed for you. Well, not for you, but for your viewer. So in my case, I'm trying to make it value packed for you. In your case, you need to make it value packed for your viewer. So you need to make it like a no-brainer, while like a no-brainer for them to actually just, oh yeah, I'll click that and go and do that. So making it easy for them to do, which is one of the big advantages of YouTube memberships, is it's super easy to do. There's a big join button down the bottom. They can just boom, smash the join button. YouTube do take 30% of that. So YouTube kind of take the line, like out of all of these options, they do take the most. But in saying that, you're making it super easy for your community to actually do it. It's right there. You can integrate special things, so you can give them special stickers. You can make it so that they've got, like, their name is green instead of the gray, things like that. So you can make the membership special within YouTube just because, well, it's automatically done, just because it's right there and integrated. So utilizing the others like Buy Me a Coffee, Ko-Fi, and Patreon, bringing those into YouTube specifically, there's no special stickers. There's no, they don't get a special icon to prove that they're a member or that they're doing so. So you need to make sure that you do something special, that you do something that shows people that these are the next level. These are your super fans. These are the people that support you and encourage you week on week to keep going and to keep coming back every week. And I'm looking at the names in the chat here, and every single name that I'm reading is that for me. These are the people that make me come back week after week after week. And even when I sort of don't feel like a stream and think I might just kick my feet up on this public holiday, I'm like, no. I'm going to make something for these people that come back week on week on week. And so it makes it easier and makes it better. Now, let's just have a look here. Morning, Frankie over 50. Gosh, it's got to be early for you, right? It's got to be early. Russell is saying, it's a personal choice and a matter of what fits your channel. It might interest you to know that James Wedmore strongly advises against things like Super Chat or Buy Me a Coffee. Yeah, I'm not surprised that he does. And it depends on what you're trying to do and what you're trying to focus on. If you have got another product to sell, splitting that view may be not the best idea. But I don't have a membership site or an online course or anything like that. So I'm not splitting those, whereas James Wedmore specifically teaches how to make membership sites and online courses and things like that. So the goal is not to give people too many options, which is why I choose Buy Me a Coffee rather than all of the above, because that way it's not like a hard choice. So it is definitely something you have to take into consideration. What else are you trying to get your viewers to click on? And you need to make it that you have, it's a simple choice. It's either click on this or don't. Not click on this or click on this or click on this or click. If you've got an actual big ticket product that you want to sell, which is what James Wedmore specializes in, then you want to draw attention to that and sort of go from there. But I'm talking more about people here who just have YouTube channels and don't have an alternative course, or they've already sorted out the course and this is just a way to fund a YouTube channel. So it's kind of like two different topics, and it is something you have to keep in mind of. Absolutely. Let me hear. You've become a morning person since retiring. That's cool. I find it funny. We call them vacations and you call them holidays. We only use the word holiday for what you're calling a public holiday. Okay. So, yeah, we have holidays and public holidays. So the public holiday is just a one-day thing where, like, today in Queensland, and it's only Queensland that has this public holiday today. Other states have on other days, and it's a Labor Day public holiday here. So we have, like, we don't do bank holidays. So the bank is open whenever there's not a public holiday, but we do have a few gazetted public holidays in each state. Each state actually has the same number of public holidays, or within like one. So no one state gets more holidays in Australia, usually. Do we look? I think some people do use the word vacation. Holiday and vacation are interchangeable. When I think about a vacation, I actually think you have to leave the house and go somewhere else. Whereas I don't do that very often. I think my last vacation was 3 or 4 nights 4 years ago, and it was driving distance away. So yeah, I think of vacations as like flying somewhere or you know, actually going away and not working while you're away. In England, we call them bank holidays equals a public. Okay, yeah. So here, we call them public holidays. So it's basically you have to work out what's open and what's not open, because some public holidays, some grocery stores are open, others are not. It's very confusing. You've got to really sit down and work it out. Like Facebook groups are hilarious right now with like, is Woolworths open? So if you don't work Sunday, is that a holiday? No, it's just your day off. You gotta have your weekend, right? That's different. I think we cover any day we don't work or your kids don't go to school a holiday. I don't use vaccination. I think you got the wrong word there. Vacation, or when we travel, it's still holiday. We're lazy with words. Yeah, I think it depends. So yeah, I tend to use holiday over vacation. But anyway, have a little drink. Yeah, like even as like we have school holidays, so it's been bred into us since we're children in Australia. It's more holidays than vacations, but if it's a vacation, you have to be vacating the house. Where I was up to. So the direct way, which is the Buy Me a Coffee, which is I do have my Buy Me a Coffee linked in my in the chat there. So if you want to click that, you can check it out. So then there's other options as well. So you do have the options of affiliates, like using Amazon, things like that, or other brands that are suitable to your business. And have a look. If you're using a piece of software like I am using StreamYard, quite often, if you're a paid member, you quite often already have access to either a referral link or something like that. But then sometimes they have a separate affiliate program. So you can go and apply to become an affiliate for individual things that you are utilizing in your day-to-day. So if you are, say you use power tools for your business all the time, you could contact a big brand power tool company and find out if they have an affiliate, because there's a good chance that they do. I know even Yeti, who I love, if you're in the US, you can apply for a Yeti affiliate. I am in Australia and was therefore rejected. I did try, but I was rejected due to my location. So have a look at and see some of the big things that you use every day. You may be able to just apply for an affiliate, and that's a super fun way to really engage your viewers as well, because it's something you're using right now. And you can grab one yourself. Just click on that link and it sends them straight to the thing. It's super easy. I use that over on my Fiberific channel. I've got affiliates with some yarn companies. And so if I want to use a particular yarn, I can put that link in the description, or very kindly ask the mods, especially if I've forgotten, because that happens. And they will add that link in for me, because my mods have my list of affiliates. I just have to tell you something. I have a paper and pen notepad, and I tried to swipe it with my finger. I've been on devices a little bit too much the last couple of days, I think. I don't think I've ever done that before. I've just tried to swipe a notepad like an actual paper pad with my... Anyway, it's a little bit embarrassing. I probably didn't need to share it, but I had to. Then you've got your affiliates, so for like Amazon or individual businesses. Oh my gosh, I could see the happy faces coming through. It's gold, isn't it? It's so funny. The other thing that you can do is utilizing merchandise, and I actually haven't done that on this channel as yet. But the trick with merchandise is making it about the viewer. So making it like an in-joke or something that's fun like that, not just your logo. I mean, over on my Fiberific channel, I've totally done the logo. I didn't know better. I did the logo. But then I've also got an alternate logo, which is like my logo, but all different sizes. And it looks fun, and it creates a really nice feel. I'm just having a look around. No, no, I don't have anything with it on in here. It's in the kitchen, in the drawer. But yeah, so really being conscious and mindful that what you're creating is something that they would find that's fun, not just your business name, although that can totally be part of it, but also give them options for something hilarious or fun, or makes them feel part of a tribe, so that if they spotted someone else in the same shirt, they'd be like, oh my God, you know, just to sort of bring those sorts of things together. Let me have a look here in the chat. Can you put buy me a coffee codes on any video? Are your YouTube videos just thinking about our reaction videos that we can't monetize? Yeah, you can. You can put your QR codes in anywhere at this stage. YouTube have not really come out about QR codes. I know that there's two things with QR codes. There's the concern that people may not know what they're clicking to. So you have to be trustworthy. Now, I know on my phone, when I click a QR code, it tells me where it wants to send me to, and I have to say yes. So if it comes up with something random, I'm like, no. So, you know, I don't know if that's the same for all of you, but that's what I get when I click on my phone. So making sure that you're trusted and reliable, but you can burn in your QR codes. The catch with burning in a QR code, like what I'm doing here up on my, over there, is that if that code changes, then you've burnt in something you can't change. And that's the catch. That's the downside. So when I say burning in, it's part of the video. You can't change it down the track. You can't edit it. There's nothing that you can do with it. So if something happens and you change your QR code down the track and that one's no longer usable, people are going to be clicking on that, and it's either going to go to something else or it's going to go to nothing. So that's the downside and the big catch right there. When you put your QR codes in your description, or sorry, your links in your description, when you can, like if you can, then having those. I use Thirsty Affiliates because my websites that I build for my businesses are WordPress, so it means I can cloak all my links there. Then you've just got to. You've got to find what works for you, because I like to use the cloaked ones, because then I can go into my website and just change the link there, and I don't need to change anything on YouTube. It redirects to the new place. But if you've got the links in your description, you can use a tool like TubeBuddy's Find and Replace your links that way. You've got options. But once you've burnt it into your video, like this one's being burnt in here, the options are gone. There's no other options. I do still have the face cam merch. I should probably remove it. We no longer have the face cam glitch. I actually made merch because my old camera, this guy up here, would turn off every 30 minutes during live stream, and it wouldn't be till the chat let me know that it was off that I would know. Yeah. Oh, jeez. That's terrible. It's going to get around, isn't it? I thank you, Leanne. Yes, if you are enjoying this stream today, I would appreciate the thumbs up. I always do. Look, you can blur it out. If it's a live stream and you blur it out, you lose your chat. So that's you know, that's the thing. If it's a pre-recorded video, you can blur it out, no problems. If it's a live stream and you blur it out, you'll lose your live chat. During Nick's stream, the YouTube liaison mentioned no links in shorts due to abuse and bad actors uploading hundreds a day. I thought, why not just limit it to like 5 a day? Yeah, look, I think I have my own opinions on why YouTube have made it so there's no links in shorts, and I'm sure there was abuse. There always is. But I don't think it was the smartest option, because if you are live streaming vertically, that sends it to the short shelf, which means you have to follow all the shorts rules. So, also not to the short shelf, but to the shorts feed. So therefore you follow all the rules. So if you are live streaming vertically to YouTube, you will not have any of your links be clickable in your description. So it's kind of like what you have to decide when you're going forward. If you are going to do this vertically, there are pros and cons to both. So you have to make that decision. But yeah, there's definitely rules like that. Then I realized the bad actors would just start a ton of channels. Yeah, they do. This is the thing. They will get around it. The people who are going to abuse the system are going to abuse the system no matter what, and they're going to keep trying to circumvent and do it that way. Now, YouTube actually have rules about circumventing YouTube, so that in itself can get your channel deleted. But if you've got multiple channels, YouTube, once they find them, they can just delete them without warning because here we go. I'm just going to just deep dive on this one. If you have a YouTube channel, in the terms of service, you are agreeing to an agreement between yourself and YouTube. It is not between one channel and YouTube. So if your channel is deleted off YouTube, you have no right to expect to be able to build a second channel and YouTube to leave it alone. They can delete it without warning due to circumvention. And circumvention is where you have circumvented YouTube's deletion of your previous channel. So don't stuff up on a channel and get it deleted, because the chances are YouTube was going to work out whether you use the same email address or not. They're going to work out if it's the same person. They can see it's the same people talking. They can see it's the same content. They can see the IP address it's coming from. There's so much data that YouTube have that they can work these things out, that if you are breaking the rules and your channel is being deleted, then you've got no expectation of being able to come in and just build a second channel. So Home Rapid Repair has just said they've tested out my QR code to see if it works. I'll just let you know if it worked. It did. It did. Home Rapid Repair, that link definitely worked. So here we go.
Yes, it's coffee time. Coffee. Cappuccino. Java. Yes!
Thank you so much, Home Rapid Repair, for testing out that link and just making sure it worked for me. I did just put in the Buy Me a Coffee GIF straight up, just how they put it. I'm going to have to play with it because I do not like it. I want it placement smaller, not so blurry, fussy. I'm being fussy with it, but I was doing it like 5 minutes before the stream. So, these are the things that happen. But you're putting live chat on the screen, so not much a loss for losing the live chat. Look, I'm going to disagree with you on that one. I personally think if you are live streaming, and this is you have to make this decision for yourself. Different creators have different opinions on it. This is just my opinion on it. If you do something that causes your live chat to be lost, you have lost the feeling of a live stream. I personally don't watch replays that don't have comments. So if they've disabled the comments, if they've decided to not check the replay comments, I won't watch a live stream that doesn't have comments available. And that's a personal view. So therefore, I don't create content that I wouldn't watch. So you have to think about it from your perspective. Now, there have been instances where my comments have gone because I didn't check the button that says replay live chat, and I had to go in and blur out something that needed to be blurred out, and I had to make the decision. And the problem with that is I knew I had an email address that was visible that I didn't want anyone to see. And I actually had to wait the full 12 hours for YouTube to finish processing before I could go in and edit the thing to blur it out. So the email address was out there for 12 hours. It was very frustrating. But these are decisions you have to make for yourself, what works for you, what works for your community. But for me, if I'm making a decision that removes the live chat, there's got to be a pretty big reason. Let's have a look here. Okay, so I'm going to have another sip because my throat is very dry today. I don't know why. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about the Buy Me a Coffee options. Now, this works for a lot of the different options, the Buy Me a Coffee, the Ko-Fi, the Patreon, even the channel memberships. So once you've created a membership or something like that, you can go in and adjust them and edit them. It's not, this is it forever. Okay, so if you've started it and you're like, oh, I've promised not enough or I've promised too much, you can go in and make adjustments. You need to be open and transparent. Okay, especially if you're removing things. So, you know, that's a big thing. If you are having to go in and remove something because you are unable to do it, you're unable to keep the promise, whatever it is, you need to be really open and transparent about it. Don't just try and sneak it in and hope nobody notices, because that's deceptive. Now, I will sneak in and fix typos or reword something. As long as it doesn't take away anything, I'm okay with it. So with the waiting the 12, I'm talking about live streams specifically. So YouTube can take up to 24 hours to process a live stream. So the live stream will end, and then YouTube will take up to 24 hours to finish their processing. Now, I'm pretty lucky. Mine happen in about 12 hours usually. It depends on where you are in a queue. Some of the more popular and bigger YouTubes, theirs knocks over in like an hour or 2 hours. But I'm, down the list. So if you have a video, like just an uploaded video, you can just do whatever you want to it. It is a live stream. You have to wait for the processing to finish before you can edit it. Or at least that has been my experience. I've tried to edit things and it's like you've got to wait for the processing. So that's been my experience. So I wanted to go in and share the screen on my current Buy Me a Coffee, because last week you guys were very vocal. Let's say vocal that I should actually start the memberships over there. I wanted to leave it because I've just realized that I'm missing my background. What have I done with it? I don't know what I did with the background, but I'm just going to pop it back in. There we go. I just like a little bit of something in the background. There we go. That's the one I want. All right. Okay. I know you guys don't care at all, and I get it. All right. So what I wanted to talk about was through the week, I went in and added, some membership levels. So I had to have a big hard think about what I wanted to do, because, you also still have the option of just buying a coffee or buying 3 coffees or buying whatever number of coffees you want randomly. But I wanted to give you the option. Wait a second. It says I have a member in the cold brew. Did I get a notification about that? Hang on. I'm very excited because this will be the first member, I think. First member of the new thing. I don't know who it is. I'll have to go in and check it out, but I don't recall getting a notification. Anyway, whoever you are, thanks, champion. But what I wanted to say is you can go in. One of the things I absolutely love about the Buy Me a Coffee, even over YouTube, is that I was able to make individual imagery for each of my supporter levels, which it might not be a thing. It might not be something you're interested in, but it was definitely something that made me like, oh, I can add that. But what I wanted to do is I realized I missed something when I created my my community sponsors. So the higher end sponsorships. So both the supporter full beans and then the community sponsors, which is I wanted to add in. And I was just going to do it. And then I thought, no, I could do this while we're live, because I'm not sure if you've got, lions and tigers and bears. I was trying to come up with something fun. So now I have lions and tigers and bears, also the different coffee bean supporters. So we've got standard supporters and then community sponsors. Now I have added the community sponsors in because I do get messages every now and again asking me how to sponsor the channel, and they don't want to sponsor an individual video. Excuse me, they want to sponsor the channel. So I don't know if these are going to be a thing, if they're going to stay or what, but they're there. So if that's something that you wanted to do, but it gives you the option. So you can go in and create any sponsor levels that you want. So I started with a $5 a month because that's like the sort of standard one that most people are used to. And exactly, That's exactly it. Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my! So yeah. Oh hello, Louis. Louis not happy with lions and tigers and bears. So he's going to keep barking. I don't know what he's barking at. But what I wanted to do is go in and actually edit these. So I've got the option in here. And I wanted, so I created a line here. So I can just cut and paste, but I wanted to add a new reward. So I can just click add reward, add a custom. Actually, I'll just show you what some of the other options are. So they give you some great options here. So like shout outs, access to full libraries, discounted extras, works in progress, early access, offers for merch, things like that. So you can just click one of those, which also gives it a cute little image. But I want to add this. Ah, it didn't copy and paste it. Come back here. Command. There we go. So if you are in one of the tiers that allows it, you can send me a DM either through Twitter or Instagram asking you questions, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I don't want to put a time frame on that because I'll be really honest, sometimes I straight up miss them. So we've added that into the Full Bean supporter, and I want to add it also to the community sponsors. So let's go in and add that there, add the reward, add a custom, add it, and then click update, because how many times have I gone and changed something and then forgotten to press save or update? I don't want to admit how many times I've done that. That's a lot of times. And then update. And then we've got the last one, Lions edit. Now with YouTube, if you go in and change your memberships or tiers or anything like that, YouTube actually wait until they've approved it before it is changed in the system. So whereas things like Buy Me a Coffee, I can just go in and change it. Now, I didn't take anything away, so I don't feel bad. I've just added something that I feel like I can provide. So this is the big thing. When you are working out your membership tiers, if you're going the membership route, it has to be something that every month you can actually do, or every quarter, or whatever the promise is. You need to make sure you can actually deliver it. Now, obviously, sometimes stuff happens and something may not be able to be delivered to a timeline, or a function or a feature is no longer available. You need to be open and transparent and clear, and then go in and fix and then adjust it. But having the options there, oh, there we go. I found out who it is because I clicked on the button. So Live Stream Consultants is my very first member. I want to say thank you very much. And he's written, glad to see you're monetizing your channel outside of YouTube. Happy to support a creator that is giving so much to all of us. Oh, thank you. I'll go in and send you a reply to that later. I really do appreciate you jumping in and being first. Okay, so I need to go back to that screen because it's distracting. All right. Tech for Your Needs is here. Hello, it's good to see you. Oh, you're old enough to see that reference. Yeah, if you don't know what that is, you need to educate yourself. Lions and Tigers and Bears, oh my. In the chat, put the name of the movie that is a reference to, and we'll see how many people are old enough to get that reference. Or not even old enough, but movie educated. We'll just go with movie educated. Because, yeah. Let me look. I'm just having a look. Leanne's the same. I do like comments with my replay watching. So yeah, and it's a personal preference. So we were talking about just before I was screen sharing, we were talking about if you don't have comments available for your replay, and for me it's a deal breaker. So it depends on the individuals, so that you can you have to work out what is important to you, what is important to your community, and make sure that you're making decisions based off that. You need to think about what it is that you want to be known for. What is it that you want the feeling of your live streams to be, or even the replays or the podcast listeners. You need to, I've just realized podcast listeners will have really enjoyed the screen shares. Sorry about that, podcast listeners. So making sure that you're really available, or not available, but really making sure that what you are deciding, and you're deciding it with thought. It is a decision. You're not just like, oh yeah, that'll do, because it's not what this is about. You're creating an experience. You're creating an event that people want to attend and people want to go to. And that's how I try to think about these live streams each week. Is this something I would want to watch every single week and come back to and become a regular viewer? And these people, these regular viewers, these you here in my live stream right now, you are my regular viewers. And I want to make sure that I'm building value for you. And you need to have that same thought for your community and your viewers as well. Wizard of Oz, that is right. Wizard, of course. I think your keyboard's not liking you today with all the you're on a mobile device and it keeps just auto-correcting you. I think that's what's going on. Wizard of Oz, Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz, yes, absolutely. Basketball. Oh, Ozwoosh, hello. I know who you are. It's good to see you. So yeah. Very funny, very funny. I had to think about it because you're in with a different channel today. So making sure that the decision that you're making around your monetization is something your audience can do as well. So you can have all these grandiose plans like community sponsors. You can have grandiose plans, but you also have to have honest and real expectations. So I honestly don't expect 99.95% of you to touch the community sponsor section, okay? But I also have it so that there's more realistic options available. You can just do a once-off, which is like the equivalent of a super chat. You can do a membership of different tiers of what it is that you want to support each month, and it's your decision. And I think it's available to most places. I'm not 100%. I think Buy Me a Coffee is available in most places, whereas I know super chats and YouTube partner options, memberships and super chats are limited to certain countries. I'm not sure what the country limits are for Buy Me a Coffee. I should know the answer to that. But when you're making these decisions, you need to go in and do the research, see what works for you. Buy Me a Coffee shares 95%. Stripe takes a little piece of the pie as well, but it still works out at considerably less than the 30% that YouTube take out of super chats. However, YouTube memberships and super chats are all built in, and one of the perks that you can just automatically give is little icons, which just shows everybody instantly who is a member. It's also a reference of Pulling Back the Curtain. It's the same movie exposing the wizard at the controls. It is. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I am enjoying the public holiday today. Absolutely. So, let me know in the chat. Is your, we do have a poll running, and we do have, I'm just having a little look here. It's still going, and I'll leave it running. I can't look at it right now, but it looks like there's not a lot of you have your live streams monetized. Now, is that, love to know in the chat, is that because you are not live streaming yet? Or is that because you haven't decided a way to monetize your live stream? And if you've got a question, just drop it into the chat or into the description, into the comments area. I'd love to be able to help make it so that you can afford to make these decisions to keep going with your live streaming, which those of you that hit the Buy Me a Coffee and Shout Me Coffees each week, you definitely make it harder for me to give up. Let me tell you, every week I'm like, I need to go in because I feel like I have a commitment now. And that's a good thing for me. I need that. Different people have different, preferences. The Buy Me a Coffee here app here in England didn't allow my link to PayPal. It wanted a bank account. Okay, so I don't think Buy Me a Coffee accepts PayPal at all. In any country, I linked a Stripe account, not a bank account. So maybe see if you can do a Stripe integration, and then Stripe drops it into my bank account. And the other thing that I'll say, which I was very surprised about when I first realized it, is with YouTube, when you get supers and memberships, they come through with your standard monthly payment. So it's a whole month before you receive that income from that. With Buy Me a Coffee, at least here in Australia, and I can't speak to other countries, we do this live stream here on Monday. You guys are supporting it here on the Mondays with the Buy Me a Coffees. That income is in my bank account by Wednesday. I have access to spending it within a couple of days. So there are some different options there. Buy Me a Coffee is available in 50 countries. That's a lot of countries. Live streaming is a support function for me versus a profit center. I don't see why it can't be both. You've got a monetized YouTube channel. You don't have to plug it. You don't have to do anything other than point out that it's right there. If you've got quite a busy live stream, it could be a way to prioritize who gets their questions answered first. I'm not quite sure how your lives work with that, but if you're live streaming on YouTube, then that's an option for you as well. I live stream weekly for about 4 months. Views were okay. I'm taking a break now for live streams. Okay, so that's a really great test. That's a really great test, is 4 months. So it concerned me that others cannot use their PayPal. Not every company likes PayPal. PayPal's fees are insane. I actually prefer Stripe over PayPal any day. I utilize PayPal for my business. I like PayPal. I like purchasing things with PayPal as a protection. But when it comes to this sort of thing, it's up to you. It's your decision if you don't want to use it. I think, does Ko-Fi allow PayPal? I'm not sure. But PayPal integrations do cost the companies as well. So that brings into the whole 5% versus 30% thing. Patreon utilizes PayPal. So if you prefer, rather than using Ko-Fi or Buy Me a Coffee, go and have a look at Patreon. They use PayPal. But I don't believe you can do one-off payments with Patreon. It's a membership situation. So yeah. Let me see. Intend to go back to live when my reach is larger. It's going in the right direction. Well, that is awesome. And I'm glad to hear you've got a plan to go back to doing lives. Can you please share the monthly commitment requirements having a membership monetization strategy brings? Is it easy to manage? That's a great question. Okay, so it depends. It depends. So for me, if you saw on my the options that I had, I've kept my promises light because I've got a lot of different things I need to get done each week already, and I want to be able to deliver. Now, as time goes on, as the community builds and grows, some of the levels may end up getting more perks, things like that, which is something I've recently done over on the Fiberific channel, is I have added an additional perk to certain levels of the membership that are now have access to a monthly Discord call, whereas I didn't have that as an option before at all, and I've added it later down the track. So these are the things. You can start it out very light, but understanding that when you have a light option, like what I have, where I'm like giving you the opportunity to support me if that's something you want to do. And that's basically how I think about it, is I don't want to make the decision that you can't support me by not having any options available for you. And it was either no support or support. That was like, which way do I want to go there? And then what can I actually do? And every single month promise to do, I can live stream. That's what I can do. That's what I can promise to do. I can promise to live stream. And so having that as just as a thank you But if you are offering specific things, you need to make sure you can offer that at scale. So if you are offering to send out something physical, you need to understand you have international audiences. Can you cover the international postage for somebody, or are you going to expect them to pay more? So you need to think about all these different things. What is it that you're offering, and can you deliver it? That will make the workload of your monetization harder. Now, one of the other things that I do every month is I try to check my affiliate links. Now, I don't check every individual Amazon link, but I do check Ecamm, StreamYard, like all of the others. I go in and check them, make sure that the links are working. That's a fairly quick job. If you have a VA, that'd be a great job for a VA. But making sure that the links that you're sending people to works outside of like the Buy Me a Coffee or the actual membership scenario, making sure that the links actually go to where you want them to go to is a good one to check. And just keeping on top of that side of it, like admin side of it really, and going from there. So I'll just let me know if I've answered your question. Yeah, that's quite often. A lot of them have like a minimum limit. Stripe, the Buy Me Coffee Stripe doesn't. I get it no matter what, but it depends on the options that you went with. And I have a $10 withdrawal limit for Amazon, so it's just what it is. So, what type of reporting does it have? If I have the same code for more than one channel, can I see the breakdown? So for Buy Me a Coffee, I'm just going to have a quick look. I'm not going to share the screen. I'm just having a little look and seeing if there's any actual reports as such. I can look at a page that lets me know who my supporters were, and there is a downloadable CSV. I think the only way I could tell is by their names. It shows me their names and their email address that they used. And so I think the only way I would be able to tell is by the name of the person. But I have two Buy Me a Coffees. So I have a Buy Me a Coffee for the Fiberific channel, and I have a Buy Me a Coffee for this channel. Now, I very rarely use the Buy Me a Coffee for the other channel, but that way they're instantly separated. And then I actually have them coming through the same Stripe account into the same bank account, because I use one business account. All my businesses are under one umbrella. And that's a thing I set up with my accountant. So if that's a question, you need to check with your accountant. But I actually have the separate Buy Me a Coffees for separate channels, because they are separate audiences and I have separate offerings. Does that make sense? I've just started live streaming in my second week of yesterday, but the format is allowing me to repurpose snippets and clips, and they have been well received on other platforms. That's awesome. So totally repurposing live streams is such a great thing to do. Opus Clips is a fantastic option for easy repurposing. But if you're a StreamYard user, StreamYard automatically does some clipping. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. I've only used it a couple of times. At this stage, I think it's still suiting interview styles better rather than one head. So, it is definitely something to look at that way. But repurposing content is such a great option. It really is. I'm still putting all the pieces in place, like the website, a lot of moving pieces that are coming together for when I go at it. One of the things that I've got listed here is we have talked about the direct options. So like the Buy Me a Coffees, the Patreons, the memberships. And we did talk a little bit about affiliates, but one of the things I did want to talk about was the majority of my affiliate traffic does not come from my YouTube channels. It comes from people clicking on my tools page and going that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, as long as my computer doesn't crash while I try and do 14 things at once, I'm going to go to my tools and resources page and show it to you. So those of you listening on the podcast, I'm very sorry. I will be brief in this section, but I just want to show you what I've set up. on my tools and resources page. Link is in the description. If you want to have a look and see what I'm even talking about, I would like to share the screen, please. Thank you very much. Tools and resources. There we go. So this is my tools and resources page, and I share this direct link. So when I'm sharing my website on Twitter, on YouTube, whatever, I actually share this page. I don't share the homepage like the chantellehills.com. I share chantellehills.com/tools or resources. I think it's resources. I should probably know the answer. I should know that. But I share this page. The link is in the description. And what I do on this page is I absolutely make sure my affiliate disclosure is big, and you can just click on that and read it, because you need to make sure your affiliate disclosure is easily accessible for everybody at all times. There's no hiding. And then the next thing I want to say is not all of these are affiliates, because I don't have affiliates to everything. OBS is free for a start. I don't need an affiliate for that. I choose an item. I call it pick of the week. It's more like pick of the quarter. And then I choose something that I've been really enjoying using. So I've been enjoying using Opus Clip, not so much for my channels, but for some client work that I've been doing. I've been utilizing Opus Clip a lot. I find it to be super easy and useful. It does have its drawbacks, but then I come down to the different things that my community need. Okay, so I think of it from the perspective of somebody who is live streaming. These are the things that you might find useful. So I do have the different live streaming softwares that I like to use. There are others, but these are the ones that I prefer. The stock music places that I like to use. Again, there are others. Graphics and assets, creator tools, video editing softwares. So I'm a Premiere Pro girl, but I actually used to do all my editing on Resolve and then moved to Premiere Pro. I'm seriously contemplating moving back to Resolve, but I'm not decided yet. So, and then we go deeper. So these are more for the people that are doing that next level. So if you need to build a website or an email list, or you've got affiliate income, these are the things that I use. And then down here, we've got Primal Video Accelerator, which is an absolutely amazing membership. If you can jump in, they only bring in members about once a quarter, unless you've got a special link that will let you pre-buy a year in advance. Then you can jump in for early. You can jump in whenever. You don't have to wait for it to be open, which is the new thing. You always had to wait. And I've been a member of Accelerator now for a really long time, like 5 years or something, and I love it over there. They're going to need a crowbar to get me out, honestly. So just things that they like. And I've also got some of my kits from kit.co. So my live stream setup, the different microphones that I like, all my audio stuff that I like, the books that I like for YouTube. I actually need to double check that. I think there's another one I want to add in. And then some of the setups when I'm using the Rode NTG, which is another microphone I have off the side. But yeah, lots of options here, and I try to keep them specific to what it is. I would like to stop this. There we go. I try to keep those tools specific to people live streaming, because I could fill it out with a whole pile of other stuff. So I'm looking at the books is probably the broadest one, where it's like that's more specifically live video or live or YouTube specifically, or digital marketing. It's kind of a bit broader, okay? But it is tucked down the bottom. But everything else is things that I would absolutely recommend for anybody who is starting out live streaming and they need something. Like if you need a clip for something, go and get that. Actually, is Tuber Tools there? It's not. I'll have to add that. Tuber Tools. I love Tuber Tools. I use them all the time. And I just clicked it. Maybe it's not there. So I'll need to go and check that. But anyway, I love Tuber Tools. If you want my link to Tuber Tools, tell me and I will grab it for you. Thank you for your awesome answers. Appreciate that. Thank you for asking awesome questions. I think that StreamYard clipping is good, but not yet great. Opus Clip AI is better at this point. I 100% agree with that statement. I think that the StreamYard clipping tool is super useful. It's just new. It's basically a beta. Game Widows, see you later. Have a good day. I have good luck with the YouTube features to clip my long form videos into a short. At the best parts, they perform well, and the auto link to the long video. That is a great point. So When you're doing a remix or a clip on YouTube, it will link directly back to the original video. I don't think there's actually any extra work that you have to do. If you create a short and you're putting it on the same channel, you can choose the video that goes to when you're adding your short in. But when you use the clip, it automatically does it. Now, one of the other things is you now have a section where you can look at community clips. So, you know, I know that that Karen clipped a section on one of the videos where we talked about moderators, and that's on my homepage. So if you look at my homepage and scroll down a little bit, there's a section for community clips. So it things I've either clipped of my content or that you've clipped of my content, and it shows up there as an option for people to watch that as well. That's a really good tool. Thank you, Leanne. Leanne popped in the link. It is resources. I didn't think it was tools. Russell from Florida Manufactured Home Living has renewed for PVA for another year. That is awesome. You're like me. They're going to need a crowbar to get us out, I think. We love it in there. The community is fantastic. There's actually another intake coming up shortly. Let me think. Dates. I know the dates. Next month? I want to say next month, early next month. But I'll have to have a look. So, yeah. So these are the different ways that I earn income for this channel. So I've been really transparent with how I earn income for this particular channel. Different parts of my business earn income different ways. The live streaming channel is not in the YouTube Partner Program. So when the ads play, YouTube gets to keep that for now. We're still working through the monetization levels here. So we haven't hit the 500 subs. We haven't hit the 3,000 watch hours within the 365 days, which would allow me to join for the fan funding levels. And then once you hit the 1,000 subscribers, you can then join for the advertising. Does anyone have any more questions about monetizing their live streams that you would like me to touch on or answer? Very curious to know if I've helped, really. I really want to make sure that you guys can continue on your live streaming journeys and it continue to be a worthwhile project, because like I've probably got a slightly different view of live streaming. For me, live streaming is life. So I want to live stream no matter what, really. Whereas I know for some of you, live streaming is that harder step. You prefer the pre-record and the live streaming is the scary step. For me, it's the other way around. I prefer to live stream than to pre-record. Look, I don't know why. I don't understand it myself. The pre-records have safety nets. Live streams do not. So having those options in there is, it's good. But with pre-recorded content, I don't get to have the conversation. So let's have a look here. How do you feel on channel merch such as hats, shirts, etc.? I think if you can make it fun, it's awesome. I really do. I think if you can make it fun, it's awesome. If you can make it community inclusive, it's awesome. I have over on the Fibrific channel, I have both Spreadshop and Redbubble because I think they both have different advantages. Spreadshop doesn't do the best coffee cups. I like the nice little tapered coffee cups with a full wrap of graphics. So I prefer the Redbubble coffee cups. So I've got coffee cups over there. But I prefer the Spreadshop t-shirts. I think the t-shirts are better quality. So, you know, you've kind of got to like work out what you want to. That's the other thing. You want to make sure that what people are buying, because the merch, print-on-demand merch, excuse me, print-on-demand merch is not cheap as such, but it can seem cheaply made if you haven't chosen the right company. So you want to make sure that you are choosing a company that sends out a quality product. So you don't want your name or your brand to be associated with a shirt that fell apart after its first wash. You know what I mean? So you want to use a reputable brand, which is why I love Spreadshop. I like Redbubble for their shirts. They're both great. For my audience, I prefer Redbubble over on the Fibrific channel. We've got some great options for totes, for coffee cups. things like that that my community love. They love a good tote because that's what we put our projects into, things like that. So think about your community. Think about the things that they love and that they use. So if you're like some sort of outdoorsy community, get a cap, get a hat, but make sure you're getting one that's a decent brand. Like, well, not so much brand, but decent quality. You don't want it just to have your logo on it and then it to fall apart and then they've got no hat for the rest of the day and then they get sunburnt. They're going to remember that. Make sure it's a decent quality piece of kit. Like, quite often what I tend to do is I will go in and add in, like, I'll add in some art and then I'll actually order a couple of things myself. And not every new image, but like, okay, so I've had the Redbubble t-shirts. I know which ones of those I prefer. I removed the ones I don't like. I had the Redbubble coffee cups. I liked all of those, left all of those. So I've been able to test them and they go in the dishwasher and they've been powering along for months and the logos aren't washing off. You know, look, well, actually they've been powering on for years and the logos aren't washing off. But yeah, it is definitely something that you want to have that people will not go, oh, this was trash. So you want good quality merch or solid quality merch. It doesn't have to be premium, but it has to be good quality merch. And it's got to be something that could be quirky or fun or meaningful or, you know, just plugging your logo on there is not always the best option. It can be like, I mean, I've got my radio company hat there. It's a band. I love that band. That's right there. Actually, I think my Fiberific hat's there. Hang on a second. It is. So I had a little Fiberific hat made up just because I was attending events. But that one was for me. I didn't expect any of my audience to actually go out and buy it. So it's just a little ball cap. So I've got that one. But you can do what you need to do. I'm obsessed with caps, so I'm like, I like wearing caps when I'm out in the sun or when it's raining because it keeps the rain off my glasses. So you just have to think about, will it be meaningful for your community or is it a cash grab? Like, you got to think of it like that. Large screamers that use super chats to allow comments, question priority seems super smart to me. Absolutely. Absolutely. If you've got a really fast moving stream and you cannot get to all of the comments, you just can't. You're one person. You've got a set amount of time. You can't do it. There needs to be a way to prioritize messaging. Super chats just seems like the no-brainer to me as well. I know some creators that actually set a dollar limit on their super chats that they're going to do tasks on. So, yeah. I need to work on my spread shop, so it's ready to go when I get there on YouTube for the shop. While I wait, I plan on adding it to my website. Yeah, you do need, Esme Sky, you do need to get in and at least make yourself aware of what you need to make the merch for your spread shop. Make sure you understand the graphic design requirements so that when it comes time to make it and to get into it, you're up and ready to go. Home Rapid Repair says, I almost forgot. I was watching a live stream today about real estate and the guest on the camera kept eating and looking bored. It seemed disrespectful. Wow. Yeah, like, I can't imagine doing that to anybody. Honestly, as a guest, like, for a start, I don't eat on camera. So I'm just like, that is an instant out for me. But yeah, I can, and that would have been really distracting for the audience as well. What I will say to that is sometimes as the interviewer or the host, having a pre-stream chat, whether it's a day before or 15 minutes before, outlining the expectations. So I've got no problems with people having drinks, but I would expect my viewers to not have to watch people eat. So I actually say, do you need to pop out and grab anything? Do you need to, utilize facilities? Do you need to quickly eat something before we go live because I don't like food on my channel? Things like that. So, but yeah, wow. But then actually going, oh, hey, can you not eat like during the live stream? I don't think I would call it out. I don't know what I would do if I was in that position. I really don't. That yeah, I definitely wouldn't be inviting him back. I do need to find a service to do photo prints, though, specifically panoramic. I've got an image with 7 images of solar eclipses from my area and later, and plan to have an astronomy related photos. Yeah, that would definitely be something beautiful to check out. Oh, you need to have water goblin cup for you. Beverage goblin. The beverage goblin. Beverage goblins have a minimum of 3 drinks today. I'm not a beverage goblin. I only have 2. But yeah, beverage goblin would be a good one. Recorded video leaves a lot more open to self-doubt, self-criticism, and perfectionism. Live circumvents all of that, as it is what it is. That is probably exactly why I prefer live stream, because I really procrastinate editing, and I try to make me seem better than I am. Whereas like when I'm live, I'm like, this is what you're getting. But when I do a pre-record, I'm like, no. I have to make this perfect. I don't know why I do that. And then I'm like, I always have to like smack myself and be like, no, just get it done. Done is better than not done. You know, published is better than not. And as long as the message gets across and it shows what I need to do, that's all it needs. You know, and I have these talks with myself and I still then don't edit it. Oh, absolutely. And please talk about your merch or your options for your, you know, your payment or your buy me a coffee or your Patreon or the memberships. You need to tell your community it is there. Absolutely. You need to tell your community it is there. They don't always look in the description, and YouTube's making it harder for people to get into the description. So you need to tell them it's there. Like, go and find this link or share the link so it's easy. So which is why I'm taking Karen's advice and I have my Buy Me a Coffee link pinned. But I've also, because we are talking about this a lot today, I've also got my Buy Me a Coffee QR code up. So definitely need to go in and make sure you're letting the community know that it is there. Now, I just saw a notification. That was from before. That's all right. That's okay. I'm just double checking. I just didn't want to miss anything. All right. I'm guessing that guest won't be back. You may know this person. She's mentioned in Daryl Leaves' book. So the guest was the person eating and they're in Daryl's book. And look, this is one thing I will say, and not just because it's a friend of Daryl's, but one thing I'll say is unless the host knew that the only time the guest was available was through a lunch break or something like that, then that was an accepted risk that host took. But yeah, that's guest training 101. I've only seen one live chat that had a guest that should not have been a guest, and it was a channel that the host was a career radio personality and you had to interview a guest. Wow. That's yeah. I guess it's a choice between being Walmart. Yeah, it is, and you have to make that decision. So, you know, you have to decide who your audience is and what will work for your audience. Because there's no point in being Neiman Marcus, I don't know who that is, if you've got a Walmart audience, and vice versa. Oh, the channel owner is Daryl's book. Okay, all right, yeah. I'm not in. Okay, yeah. I mean, thank you for clarifying that. But yeah, same, still the same thing. Unless you know that the only way that guest can be on is during their lunch break, and you have to allow them to eat because that's their lunch break. And then, but for me, that would be like, oh, well, that's the only time you're available. Well, maybe we'll have to try again another time. You know, or keep you on the list, or let me know when you're free outside of eating times. Feeding time. They're an expensive store. Okay. I figured that they were an expensive store. I just didn't know. I don't think I've heard of them before. So yeah, I'm gonna have another drink. Yeah. So those of you that do have some sort of channel monetization or live stream monetization going on, let me know in the chat, what options have you taken? Like, which ones are you going with right now? And are they working for you? Do you want to try something else? So let me know in the chat or in the description. I keep saying description. I mean comments. If you're watching on the replay or in the podcast, comments. If I say put it in the description and I'm talking about you adding it, please just assume that I'm stupid and my tongue doesn't work and I mean comments. So, yeah. Here we go. I hate this keyboard. I'm on my teen's PC now because my iPhone comments are lame. Oh, sorry. Yeah, look, you know, at least you're not there trying to scroll up on a paper notepad. Let's just put it all in perspective. Let's put it in perspective. But yeah, choosing the right monetization for you and your community, that's the hard part. Choosing whether to monetize or not, that's not the hard part. Choosing which way to go. And quite often it's which one to do first, because I highly recommend going across the board. Have some sort of option for a super chat or a once of little boost, my buy me a coffees. Have that option available. Have an option for a membership, where people want to support you, where you don't have to put in a lot of extra work. Have the option where you are putting in the extra work. Have a merch option. Have some affiliates. Like, all of these things can be done at the same time. They do take setting up time. I'm not going to lie to you, especially when it comes to merch. It does take time to set it up good or set it up right. But then after you've set it up, mentioning it is the big thing. And updating the merch as well, like the new quirky saying in your group, the whatever. Update the merch. You could be reselling to the same people because they love that last coffee cup and they want another one, but it's got to be funny. So give them that opportunity to support you again. And this is the big thing. And this is something I had to be talked to about, was give your community the opportunity to support you. If you do none of these things and then you're complaining that that you're not earning any income, how were they supposed to do it? If you are not giving your community any options that's suitable for them, whether it's a suitable affiliate or whether it is a live stream chat, super chat or buy me a coffee or Patreon perk, whatever it is, if you are not giving your community any options to support you financially, you don't get to complain that they're not supporting you financially. So have a think about it that way as well. Are you giving your community the option at all? And it's a tough one. I'm not going to lie. Putting out there the buy me a coffee for me is really hard. I want to make sure I'm delivering value, and I don't always look at these live streams as the value. I'm like, what could I be doing? What extra could I do? What's the next thing I could do? I don't always look at this live stream conversation as the value. And I know for some of you, it is the value. So it's definitely something that we just have to look at. We need that option available, because they may not do it. They may not be interested. That might not be it for now thing for them, but there might be one or two that do it, and that can be totally the uplift that you need. Like when I get a buy me a coffee through a live stream, like that coffee thing that live stream consultants made for me, that's how I feel when I see that come through. I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like trying to yeah, that's cool. Like I'm trying to keep it, but no, the coffee. That's the energy I feel every time I get one of those. It hypes me up, and it's so silly. Something so simple that just lifts me. And sometimes that can be the difference between having the energy to do a longer stream or not. So, it's what works for you, what works for your community. You need to sit down and work that out. I can give you options. I can tell you what works for me, but you need to work out what works for you. Let's have a look here. SMA Sky totally gets that. Livestream consultant says, I definitely gotta do a beverage goblin cup. It will sell on both channels. It probably would, I'll be honest. I do definitely do beverage goblins over on the Fibrific channel. Our live streams are longer over there. Chantelle, the live streams are most definitely the value, as your perspective is unique to you and resonates to many of us. That is awesome. Doug is saying, I may or may not be late. No, you're definitely late. There's no may or may nots. You're definitely late. But I'm assuming, Doug, you've had nice sleep in on this public holiday, or you got up and started doing stuff and lost track of time. Either is valid, or you just totally forgot I existed. I mean, it's valid, I suppose. I'm not offended. But yes, I'm actually going to write beverage goblin down, because you're right. I need to create something fun. You guys are all awesome. Fantastic. Doug who? We don't know any Doug. Yeah. Yep. Cool. This is totally my group of people, right? Oh dear. It's your first one. Welcome to this live stream, Doug Houston YT. Thank you so much for joining us this first time. Chat, I'd like to introduce you to Doug. He's new here. SMA Sky says, I wanted to sleep in this morning, but we got a 15-week-old puppy. Oh my gosh. You're not getting any sleep for about the next, year. Gosh, the sun wasn't even up yet at 7. Really? Let me think. What time does our sun? Where are you in the world? The sun's up here at 7 in winter. It's well and truly. It's up by about 5 in 4:45 during the height of summer. I think is about when the sun rises here. But yeah, wow. Poor Doug. Hi. How's the studio bill going? Oh dear. But yeah, so I'm just going to scrub back and just have a look here. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Here we go. I did. I knew I'd asked a question and I realized I hadn't gotten everyone's answers. So manufactured home living monetizes through his views. So he has a monetized YouTube channel. He has book sales and course sales. So that's awesome. So you've got some serious monetization happening that way. That is great. Frankie, over 50 is a Twitch affiliate, and we have Patreon, and we're monetized, but hardly get anything from that, mostly Twitch and Patreon. Okay, so you've got some income coming in. So have you considered something like merch, something fun or quirky that would suit your community? Because if you've managed to become a Twitch affiliate, you've got a few people watching over there. So it could work for you. You need to do that. You need to mention the merch. You already do have a Patreon. I need to make it clear that it's for support only, as I don't have special things yet. Yeah, just make it you just need to be really transparent. You need to make it very clear of what people are signing up for so that there's no ambiguity. You need to make it really clear on what they can expect and what you will deliver upon. So if it is support only, that is not a bad thing. Says the girl with mostly support only options. If it's support only, then you just need to be clear that that's what it is, and you've given your community that option to support you, and you need to let them know that that option is there. Russell's saying you may do a membership in a couple of years. Cool. That's awesome, Russell. I'm glad you're thinking about that. Let's have a look here. Thank you for your kind welcome. Wow. Yeah, I know. I know. It kind of made the joke harder knowing he was already modded up, right? It did. The joke didn't land. I get it. Get those toothpicks out for Doug to prop his eyelids open. Possibly. Doug, were you modding anything last night? I didn't see any streams on late last night, but mind you, did I look that hard? No. No, I didn't. I decided to go to sleep and wake up today partially refreshed. So, yeah. All right. Well, do you have any other questions in relation to monetizing your live streams or your, oops, I just totally whacked that, or sorry, excuse me. Yes, if you've got any other questions about channel monetization, so for YouTube monetization, live streaming monetization, if you've got any of those kinds of questions, drop them in right now while I, deal with this Yeti cup full of delicious coffee. Yeah, always nice to see another wrench in the toolbox. Yep. Yeah, no streams for Doug last night either. That's good. So you got to actually have a good night's sleep, or did you stay up watching stuff? I may have stayed up watching stuff that wasn't moderating, but yeah, it was social. I was kicked back, laying back, knitting, relaxing, chilling. Sometimes we got to do these things. So those of you that have jumped in late, Doug, we have changed the Buy Me a Coffee over here for this channel. We now have options for you to regularly contribute so that you can do a monthly, it's not a subscription, but a monthly membership, whether or not, and you get to choose between a plethora of options depending on what it is that you want to do. So making the options available. So like this was the one thing, like I could choose to allow my community to support me and I could choose a $1 point. But what if that $1 point didn't suit them? What if they wanted to do more? You can't multiple support unless you've got multiple email addresses. Why not give them the option for a few more? So I'm going to end the poll and check the results on that guy. End the poll. Alrighty, so have you monetized your live streams? 69% have said no. 30% said yes. I just want to point out that doesn't add up to 100. But anyway, good job, YouTube. Looks like the poll overwrites the post on Buy Me a Coffee. That's all right. It's temporary. It's temporary. But yeah, so for those of you that are not yet monetizing, we have talked to those about what is holding you back. What is stopping you from putting in the first, dipping your toe in the water and getting that first option into monetizing your live streams? What is stopping you? I'd be very curious to know what is stopping each of you that have not yet monetized your live streams, because that's 69% of you, apparently. It's not 70, it's 69% of you that have said that you are not monetized for live streaming yet. Now, excuse me, I know from having a non-monetized channel, I have to think about what I'm going to do. Russell has said here he's got bigger fish to fry. Excuse me, sorry, I've got a frog in my throat. Yes, like you may have a different priority. Absolutely. I just tried to, there we go. I tried to add the comment from the wrong screen. Anyway, bigger fish to chase. Absolutely. And you may well do. You may be focusing on a full course. You may be focusing on something else that you want to send people to and you don't want to distract them. That is awesome. 13 into 100 is not a neat true. It's true. You're right. Yeah, like, you know what? Build with Moody, neither is this channel. This channel is not monetized. It is not in the YouTube partner program. So I've had to come up with alternatives, which is why I have the Buy Me a Coffee, which is why, I'm looking at the different alternatives for there. I don't yet have merch, but it seems I need to design some Beverage Goblin merch and go from there. I'm like, I've got this friend who is an artist. I'm like, I wonder if he would draw me something that we could use, because it could be so cool. Like have a goblin, like a pile of cups. Like, that's what I want. That's the beverage goblin that I want. So yeah, anyway, these things that come into my head. But that's right. Like, you may not be monetized through the partner program. And there's so many alternatives. There's so many options that you can have. And yeah, it'll be a bit harder, and especially if the reason you're not monetized, which the reason I'm not monetized, or I'm not in the partner program, because technically I'm monetized because I'm monetizing other ways. I'm not in the partner program because I'm a small channel. I'm a newer channel. I'm not hitting the targets that they've set yet. So definitely need to look at some alternatives, but also the realistic fact that you do have a smaller audience, so the chances you're not going to get rich off this merch or these other things, but it could be enough just to keep things ticking over, you know, like enough to pay a bill. So yeah. Yeah, that's right. PVA doesn't have merch or buy me a coffee. That's true. They don't. I also know there are people who are paying their monthly PVA membership that don't actually they don't utilize much in there because it's their way of giving back. So lots of different options for how people think about things. I think they need a coffee cup. I honestly think that PVA needs a coffee cup. And I'm this close to designing one for them and going, would you like to use this? But yeah. Yeah, like that's the thing, right? 8.97 people said no and 4.303% of people said yes. Here we go. Yes, there are, and I plan on being more aggressive with the dollars after I really find my viewers' best retention. Almost there. Yeah. How is this a secret now? How is this a secret? So yeah. Yeah, so it's this, like, definitely need to be letting people know that you have the options available. Definitely. Yeah. I'm wondering the same thing, live stream consultant. Which person left a 0 point thing? Yeah. Oops. This is not a private DM. This is a live stream chat. You might need to remove it. Doug says he won't tell. Gosh. Does everyone in the chat and the replay and the podcast promise not to tell? I don't promise not to tell. I just want to say that. Okay. It's okay. All right. Well, on that note, everybody, I'm going to call it a day, and I'm going to go and put my feet up for the rest of this public holiday that we're having here in Australia. I'm actually going to send a message to see if I can find my friend. Will do me a goblin a goblin art and see what they come down to. We're all sworn to secrecy. Yeah. So that's my plan for today. So I will see you all here next week for another live stream, unless something dramatic happens. But, you know, this shouldn't be. Should be good. And yeah, guys, have a great week. And really have a think about, is there something you could be doing to encourage your community to support you financially? I will catch you next time. Be good and have fun streaming. I'm going to end the stream. The button's in the wrong place, honestly. But bye.